We are now less than a week away from Election Day.
While the candidates are making their final push on the campaign trail, there are a few measures on the ballot that voters will have to consider. Joining us to talk about it is our political analyst, Paul Lisnek. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, Robin and Larry, good morning.
So people will see 3 ballot measures. Talk about them quickly if you can, because they might be confusing to some people.
Sure. The one that will get a lot of attention, I think, is the tax one that says that if you make over $1 million, which isn't a lot of us, then you will pay an extra 3% tax on that money you make over the $1 million. So what's interesting about that is that it seems like, okay, millionaire's tax, but you know, Illinois has been asked to pass a couple of increases in taxes through referendum in the last couple of elections. Remember Pritzker's graduated income tax that he said the world will fall apart if we don't get it. We didn't get it. And then the other tax on property sales over $1 million. So Chicagoans, Illinoisans don't seem to be up on all of this. There is another referendum about IVF treatment. Currently, Illinois actually does require group plans of 25 or more to provide at least 4 IVF treatments. This referendum is written as a way to say it will cover everybody no matter what. And then third, there's a referendum about saying if you're running for office, you can't be one of those people that's causing trouble at a voting site. We can come after you. But here's the thing, Robin. These are non-binding. They don't mean anything. They don't change law. Nothing happens. It's nothing more than information for the legislature to say, hey, if you want to do something, we're either with you or not with you on that issue.
And before we turn to national politics, Paul, talk about the mayor's budget proposal. If there are no tax hikes, I would imagine that means massive cuts somewhere.
Exactly. Oh, one last referendum point.
Yes.
One of the wards, the 29th, is being asked whether or not Chicago and Illinois should pay money towards the Bears Stadium. Non-binding, but it will be just on the 29th ward's voting bill. So that'll be interesting. So with regard to the mayor's budget, look, the mayor, I mean, when you go back on promises as a politician, nobody's surprised. But when you go back on a promise not to raise taxes, you've got some splaining to do. And so we'll see what the mayor has to say today in his budget address. He did promise not to raise property taxes. It is true. He will tell us most likely that if he doesn't do this, he'd have to put a lot of people out of work. There'd have to be all sorts of other increases in sales taxes and service taxes. So he'll let us know how he got there, but there's no question that people aren't going to be happy when he essentially goes against a promise. If he tries to put the blame on the Lightfoot administration, not terribly fair, because he was handled actually a surplus when he came into office. So it's about money going forward and the current budget that he had to spend at that time. But what will ultimately happen? The alders will complain. Many will say they're not going to go for it. The mayor needs 26 votes behind him. And then he will bargain with several alders who will say, well, I want money for this project, that project. He will ultimately have to give it to them, and that's how he'll get his votes.
Before we let you go, last week before the election, what do you expect to see from both campaigns?
So anybody that tells you, Robin, who's going to win doesn't know what they're talking about. We do not know. What we do know is that the swing states, which will decide this, most people tend to say, well, some will break this way, some will break that way. They tend to all break in a similar direction. So once things break, I think we'll see which way directions are going to go. But in addition, this is not about undecideds, and people talk about that. This is a turnout race. There's very few people left wondering how they're going to vote. This is about who's going to go to the polls, and that's what you're going to see both candidates do for this next week. Go to the polls. 50 million outstanding ballots are out there right now for early voting. So actually, so many votes will be cast before Election Day.
All right, Paul Lisnek, thanks so much. You can watch Paul every Sunday at 9 a.m. for the WGN Political Report. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, guys.